This is an Evergreen Media Network studio production.
Welcome to Silver Linings. I'm your host and sometimes co-host, Janine Barrows, and I am so excited to be here today. It is a gift to be able to bring what we call the silver linings from our community here on the Treasure Coast to the forefront and give them some exposure. Today with us is Wes Samons, who is the Executive Director of the Mental Health Collaborative of Indian River County. And they are run out of the McCabe Center Foundation building here in Vero Beach. Wes, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Janine. I appreciate it.
Oh, not as much as I do, I promise you. So tell us a little bit about you and how you came to be in this role. I know it's a fairly new role for you, but not a new industry, so to speak.
Sure. Yeah. So at the end of this month will be a year that I've been in this role.
Ooh,
so yeah,
congratulations.
So it's still new, but I'm kind of getting my feet underneath me as far as running the organization. So I have 20 plus years of mental health experience, most of it being with developmental disorders. I ran my own organization in New Jersey for 12 years that focused on developmental disorders and applied behavioral analysis. And so I was contracted with a couple of school districts up there, and I would develop the plans to help their paraprofessionals to help with applied behavioral analysis for their students that were on the autism spectrum and things like that. So
very focused.
Yeah, so that was a great experience. I eventually got tired of the winters and decided to come back south. I'm from Kentucky originally, so it was nice to get back into the South. And Vero's a beautiful place, and I found a home here with Suncoast Mental Health Center. They hired me as a therapist, and I started as a therapist there, just doing family therapy, and became a manager there. So I managed our office here in Vero as well as in Okeechobee County. And then the Mental Health Collaborative came to me and said, "Hey, we would like for you to come here as our executive director." And I said, "Sure, let's do it." So that's how I got there.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
And with 12 months almost in your back pocket, I'm sure you've learned a lot about how things run in Indian River County and how the partnerships help each other achieve their goals community-based wide. Before we get to that, though, let's talk about what are you doing in our community? Who are you doing it for, and when and where?
So that's a very broad question, and there's a lot of answers to that. And that's one of the great things about the Mental Health Collaborative, and what I like about the job and like about our organization, is that we convene the community on mental health issues and matters. And so we kind of have our hands in what all of our community partners are doing in some shape and form. And an example is this Saturday we have the Family Fun Fest at the IG Center. That's February 10th, and it's from 10 to 3. And that's being put on by the Substance Awareness Center in collaboration with the school district. So it's a big event. Last year they had almost 2,000 people there.
Wow.
It's completely free.
That's amazing.
It's free to attend. The only thing you would have to pay for is if you buy food from a food truck. But there's a bouncy house, there's a DJ. This year they're going to have a petting zoo, and it's just a chance for the community to kind of see like what all of our community partners are doing throughout the community and learn about what's going on and what resources are out there for them. So it's a great event. And those are the kind of things that the collaborative want to be a part of and are happy to partner with our community to put on. So it's great.
Wow, that's exciting. I can't wait to hear about it with all the littles. I'm curious, you said they had 2,000 last year. The main purpose of this Fun Fest event is what?
The main purpose is for community education. It really is to help the citizens of Indian River County to learn about what resources are out there for them. I think a lot of times people don't know what they can find, what they can qualify for, what they can reach out to as far as a resource. And so seeing all these resources in one spot and learning about what all these different agencies do is so valuable for our community, and especially those who have children that are in the school system. And so they can come out and they can see, oh, like maybe my child needs a little help with ADHD, maybe they need a little help with anxiety. These are the resources that we have that a lot of times our insurance will pay for, and it doesn't cost them anything. Ooh. So learning about those resources is invaluable, in my opinion.
No, I do agree. Obviously, knowledge is power. You said that you do these with partnerships, and we do know that heavy work is much easier with many hands. And mental health is heavy work. It has so many different facets, whether it's simply giving quality of life to individuals within the community to very in-depth therapeutic aspects of it and needs. So very, very vast. And I love that this group comes out and you've set this up and you partnered to give information to our community members. So that's one of the events going on in the next few months. Tell us some more.
Sure. There's a few more events. One of the programs that we have started through the Mental Health Collaborative is the Unstruggle campaign.
Yes.
And that's a mental health literacy campaign, basically, just to remind people that it's okay to struggle and to receive services. So if you're struggling, it's okay to unstruggle, right? So find someone to help you along those lines. And we've done a lot with Evergreen as far as promoting that. It's
an important message.
That whole message, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
and having our ambassadors, give their basically their life stories and how they've unstruggled in different ways. So a branch from that
Very emotional, I bet.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Some of them are tearjerkers for sure. Absolutely. A branch off of that is our step-by-step program, which is basically helping people to get a little exercise, also socialize. So it's a walking group, basically.
I saw something about that on our community social media. There was like a public invite, like, hey, come on down and walk with us. It was one of the Sebastian groups, I think. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this summer we had it in Sebastian and we had it here at Riverside, right? Okay, so we kind of had two groups, 2 different days. And now what we've done is we've decided to kind of condense it into one major group, and our next walk is at the Environmental Learning Center, and it's on February 23rd, so it would be 2 weeks from Friday. It's at 9 a.m., and we're just going to walk through the Environmental Learning Center. Barb Ford has been amazing with allowing us to use that space for free. It's a free.
She is very gifted.
She's awesome, and it's a free community event. Come out and enjoy what you can see from the Environmental Learning Center, which is...
I imagine that walk's going to include that beautiful boardwalk.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
What a real nice thing at 9 a.m. I can only imagine.
Right.
The sun's going to be really peeking over there. If you haven't been out to the Environmental Learning Center, I highly encourage you. It is beautiful. Whether you have little babies or teenagers and family and friends visiting, it's a great place to go to. So how much is that to participate?
It's completely free. It's free.
Another free event.
Another free event. I know, right?
I love this.
We try to do as many free events as we can for the community, and this one is always free. Anytime you come to an Unstruggle walk, it's free. But I think this one, I'm hoping will be well attended because the scenery should be great.
I imagine it will be.
Yeah, obviously the bird watching, as you're walking, will be something that's
very
worth
peaceful.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, how exciting. So you said that you've had the walk before. What is the largest turnout you've had?
I believe one of our first walks, we had almost 30 people.
Okay.
And
wow.
it was very well attended. We had a couple of community partners that brought most of their staff. Some county commissioners came out as well, just to kind of support it.
Get moving, get the word out.
Right. Yeah. So that was great. We kind of started it in summer, which wasn't the best idea.
I know. I was going to say 100-degree mornings sometimes.
Right. So what ended up happening was we moved it into the mall, and the mall was very gracious in letting us have our people come and walk there. And that was well attended sometimes it wasn't, but it's like I said, it's a free event that we offer, and if the community wants to attend, we're happy to be there to kind of
I have no doubt you're going to see a lot more than that in these coming ones for the step-by-step. I think it's a fabulous way. Get your head straight, get your body straight, get your blood flowing, and start the day on the right foot. You can't beat that.
Right.
So, and you don't have to organize it. You just got to show up, right?
That's it. Just show up, just be there. And I will say that we also did one with Coastal Connections at the beach, which was a great turnout as well. And we did some walking and some cleaning up. And that was a nice partnership.
Good deeds for the community all the way around.
Yeah, that was great. So that happened, I think in November. But that was a nice event as well.
I was gonna say that's perfect weather.
Yep. Yeah, it was good. It was good. And we collected a lot of trash and just really kind of helped clean up our environment. So it was good.
Nice. I know that you also have a few different mental health focused events coming up, or potential for a program to be integrated into your companies and so forth. I know that we're going to talk a little bit about those, but I want to ask you, you mentioned the importance of having partnerships. On a quick note, can you tell me some of those partnerships that are big partnerships for you all here and
Sure.
how?
Absolutely, yeah. So the main thing that the Mental Health Collaborative does is, like I said, to convene the community around mental health issues. And from the beginning, 25 years ago, this is our 25th year.
Ooh, wow, big year.
Yeah. 8 years ago, we established the McCabe Connection Center.
I recall.
And so what the Connection Center does is we link the community to mental health providers. So we don't provide direct services, but when you call our office, if you need something, we can link you to a provider based on your insurance.
Nice.
And so those providers include all the nonprofits in town, the Mental Health Association, Legacy, New Horizons, Suncoast Mental Health Center, Whole Families, all those providers that are out there, we have a relationship with in some way, shape, or form, as well as private providers as well. Some of the new ones like Pure Health and New Season, we've established relationships with them also. And just so that anyone who calls our office knows that we're going to give them an option or two.
A tremendous amount of resources for them from you.
And it takes it out of their hands, because it can be so overwhelming to say, I need a therapist. Let me go online and look for it.
Where do I begin?
And
Who do I talk to? Is it the right one?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we take that out of your hands. Just call us. We'll take care of it for you.
Ooh, such good news. That is a true silver lining. That's a very difficult time when you're seeking somebody for that usually. So I love the topic we're getting onto and where we're diving deep into. But I'm going to ask, can we take a break?
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to get back to you in a moment, but we got to take a moment with our sponsors. Thank you.
Sturgis Lumber is more than just lumber.
Timber!
Residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Sturgis has all of the hardware to help with your project. Visit SturgisLumber.com. 4 generations strong, Sturgis Lumber and Hardware. More than just lumber.
Ponder life's twists and turns with Morning After Grace, the uproarious stage production at Riverside Theater. Join 3 friends as they navigate the hilarious and heartwarming roller coaster of love, loss, and unexpected revelations. It's a story that reminds us it's never too late to embrace change and start anew. Morning After Grace is now playing on the Waxlack stage at Vero's beautiful Riverside Theater. Get your best tickets now at the box office or riversidetheater.com.
Star Quality Airman here. This winter, the evil duo of heat and humidity are in hibernation. But your air conditioning superheroes at Star Quality Air never rest. Get same-day service and flat rate pricing. When you need us, we're there. Star Quality Air.
It's always painless to hear from our local vendors and commercial sponsors. We are so grateful for their support. And speaking of support, I want to say a shout out of a thank you to Silver Linings supporters. And that is the legal team at Rooney & Rooney and the financial team over at Conway Financials. Without them, we wouldn't be able to share the Silver Linings here on the Treasure Coast. Now, with the good stuff, we want to move forward. Wes came in today to share with us, and we had to take a little break. But before we went to break, we were talking about his partnerships and the support and the connectors that he uses and they work with to support the needs of our community. So we talked about the therapeutic partnerships and how you go about meeting with your therapist and providing referral sourcing to those that call in with needs. What about your community partnerships?
Yeah, so we obviously have those too, and we like to try to partner with as many people as we can to get the word out about mental health awareness, and especially mental health first aid, and how we can train people who aren't clinically trained to identify a situation and make it better and not worse. And I know a lot of people struggle with that without the training. So places like the ELC, all the different community partners that are the assisted living facilities, things like that we want to make sure that they feel like their staff is trained in a way to help with those situations. So we try to make sure that we're doing that, and we've trained over 1,300 people in the community on mental health first aid, and that includes also the entire sheriff's department. So we try also partner with them as well.
And when you're talking about mental health first aid, a lot of people don't understand. So I see our little flyers up, and I want people to encourage you to jot down some information and reach out to us and the team. Mental health is not something that we should shy away conversing about.
Right.
With that being said, in those conversations, we want to be somewhat prepared. We don't want to feel that we're giving misinformation to our friends or loved ones when they're reaching out to us as individuals. We want to be able to identify when something is acute and emergent. And no, we're not trying to do a mini training for therapists, but making individuals much more aware about having those conversations and paying attention to their loved ones when they see that they're struggling, right?
Sure. Yeah, and a great example that I just thought of when you said that is the staff at United Against Poverty. Mm-hmm. So they deal with a lot of people that come through their grocery, and it's an amazing program over there.
It is.
And so I worked with their staff to talk about situations that they may see sometimes when someone comes in who's not doing so well, and the constant thought that I got from them was, I don't want to approach them and make the situation worse.
Right.
So what you do with mental health first aid is you train someone who's not clinically trained how to be an active listener, how to be supportive, and how to help that person to kind of redirect into getting a service that they may need. And so that gives them the confidence to go ahead and approach the situation instead of being afraid to make the situation worse. And so that's the main takeaway that I get from mental health first aid, honestly.
I heard that it also offers some key indicators of when to really encourage somebody, like you really need to reach out, and giving them some resources on exactly how to do that, from teenagers' needs right on up to widows and widowers that are grieving from loss.
Absolutely.
And everything in between.
Everything in between. It does. It helps with, it helps to identify when someone may need to seek professional help, but also how they can help themselves with self-coping skills.
Right. It's a lot of emotional pressure on them left behind.
Sure.
Sometimes, am I doing the right thing? Am I stepping up? Am I, stepping away? What's the right role for me as just your neighbor, your friend, your sister, your mother?
Right. And so, I think if you follow the program, it allows you to feel like you've helped in a way that you're not going to make the situation worse. You're going to make it better, and you've left that person.
Remove
with the
a little
tools.
Bit of that fear of it when you're involved with somebody that you're trying to assist.
Right.
I love that. So you do have an event, Mental Health Matters event, that's coming up.
We do, yes. So we have partnered with the Sunrise Rotary, April 19th and 20th. Another community partner, correct? Right. So what we're going to do is have a 2-day event. The first day, we're going to have a speaker come in. Her name is Meg Kissinger. She is a writer for the Washington Post. She's a reporter for the Washington Post, sorry.
That's a familiar name.
Yeah, and she wrote a book about her experiences. She is unfortunately experienced 2 suicides of her siblings that died by suicide. Oh, so she wrote a book about that experience, and we're going to kind of have a town hall type Q&A with her. She's going to talk about her experience. We're going to have a mental health a psychiatrist there to also kind of talk to the group. So that'll be the first part of the first day, and then we're going to have some breakout groups that will talk about different types of mental health. There's going to be someone there that talks about meditation and energy psychology. There's going to be someone that talks about opioid addiction. There's going to be someone that talks about mental health interviewing, things like that. So we're hoping to have 4 presenters after her talk And then the
Nice.
second day is going to be a mental health first aid training day. So we will have, hopefully very soon, probably by the end of the week, actually, we're meeting tomorrow, a way to sign up for those mental health first aid trainings on that Saturday, April 20th.
So if they follow to your website, they're going to be able to see in the next few days some updated and uploaded information.
Correct.
That's going to guide them to how to participate.
ways to RSVP for the event and ways to RSVP for the training if that's something that you're interested in.
And does the training have a cost, and does the event have a cost?
It's all free.
Again,
it's all free for the community.
Are you hearing that? It's free.
It's all free.
It's free.
And honestly, to get the mental health first aid training free is quite a value.
Indeed.
But we're able to offer that for the community for this event. But it's definitely something that I would encourage people to take advantage of.
I personally love this idea. I work in an industry where we have personal relationships with our clients who are often physically struggling when we meet with them. And of course, that leads to some mental struggle as well. And our caregivers could probably truly benefit from having some knowledge and insight on how to deal with some of those and understanding, what's an acute situation versus what isn't.
Right.
We mentioned a word a lot today, free, right? But my mother and father told me nothing in life is actually free. Somebody's either kindly supporting that initiative or they've earned some dollars to do so. So how are all these programs supported financially?
Well, we couldn't do it without the United Way, honestly. Like our two main partners are the United Way of Indian River County and the hospital district.
Yes.
They support a lot of the programs that we do. We write grants through those organizations, and they are very supportive. And the United Way has been really supportive of the Unstruggle campaign in general, and also the mental health first aid, and kind of fit the bill for most of the trainings, because you're right, they're not free.
Right.
They do cost, the material costs money. Right, the time for the instructors, it's an 8-hour class, so that costs money. But places like the United Way and the hospital district are the reasons why a place like the Mental Health Collaborative can exist, because we are a 501c3, we're a nonprofit. All of our funding comes from places like United Way, hospital district, and private funders. So we couldn't exist without those people supporting us and knowing that we're out there, trying to convene Indian River County on mental health issues and make things better for our citizens.
I love that. I think it's an amazing group of individuals that are supporting this collaborative. And better yet, individuals just like yourself who are maintaining, managing, and funneling these services to the eyes and ears of our community members. We have a lot to cover in 24 minutes. So obviously, we can't cover all of that. So tell our listeners, how do they get a hold of you? What are the best hours? Are you available in emergency situations? Maybe not you specifically, but the collaborative.
So we're there 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and you can call our number, you can email us if it's after hours, and we can try to link you up to a service the following day. If you are experiencing an emergency, I would say, I would call New Horizons to come to your house, or the sheriff's department to do a wellness check. Those are the two things that you can do after hours that will be beneficial for you. But if it's not an emergency situation, you can always call us or email us at the number that's on the screen there. And we're there to help. We're there to link you to services when you need them.
I love that. Now, if you're not familiar with where the offices are that Wes is talking about, they are Central Vera, right in the heart of our community. They're right down on 14th Avenue. Wes and his team, is it Karen inside the office that takes Kathy?
Kathy and Patty.
Kathy and Patty, they're there to take your calls, field them. Believe me, you're not going to wait long for a return call. I just want to thank you for your time today, but more so, I want to thank you for investing our community members. I know we can have dollars backing programs, but if we don't have hearts supporting them and following it through, it doesn't work. So obviously, you and your team are doing something right, You're making a positive impact on our community, and I thank you greatly. And I am grateful that you joined Silver Linings today.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my pleasure.
On that note, we'll see you next week. And we'll be talking with Mike Conway about healthy money matters. Bye.